Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive into something you might not expect, walking for weight loss.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking through all those workout routines you sent over, and it's kind of crazy how many of them emphasize walking.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, and I have to admit, I always thought walking was just like a warm-up or something you do, if you can't manage like a real workout.
Right.
But looking through these sources, it seems like you could actually lose a serious amount of weight just by walking every day.
Well, yeah, there's been quite a bit of research on this, and some studies have found some pretty remarkable results.
Like what?
Well, for example, gravity transformation found that people who started walking briskly every day, they lost up to 17 pounds in 6 months.
Wow, 17 pounds.
Just from walking.
That's incredible. So you're saying I can just ditch the gym and just walk?
Not necessarily. It really depends on what your goals are and your preferences. But what's interesting is that a lot of these intense workout programs, they require a lot of time, like an hour or more every day.
Yeah, and who actually has time for that?
Exactly.
Between work and family and, trying to have some kind of social life, it just seems impossible to stick to those kinds of programs for, any real length of time.
I think that's a really good point. And that's kind of where walking really shines because it's accessible, it's enjoyable, and it's something you can easily fit into your day. Like you
Yeah.
can walk during your lunch break or walk to work or even just, take a walk around the neighborhood after dinner.
That makes a lot of sense. But
Yeah.
okay, let's talk about like the actual mechanics of weight loss.
Yeah.
How many calories can you burn just from walking?
Well, calorie burn really depends on a few things like your weight, the incline you're walking on, and even if you're walking outside or on a treadmill,
Wait a minute, outside versus treadmill makes a difference.
it does.
Huh. I do most of my walking on a treadmill.
Oh, really? Well, it's interesting because gravity transformation found that walking outdoors can actually burn about 5% more calories than walking on a treadmill. So if you're looking to kind of up your calorie burn, you might want to consider switching things up.
Okay, so maybe I need to explore some new walking routes.
Yeah, maybe.
And what about incline? Should I be like seeking out hills?
Well, it's definitely worth thinking about, the routes you usually take. Are there any opportunities to, maybe add in a hill or two?
Hmm.
Because even a slight incline can really make your walk more challenging.
Yeah. I'm starting to see how walking can actually be harder than I thought.
Right.
But I have to admit, sometimes I do like to feel like I'm really pushing myself during a workout. So can walking deliver on that?
So this is where things get kind of interesting. You mentioned hitting the gym, which is great, but one of the videos we watched, DMC, it pointed out that these really intense workouts might actually be working against your muscle growth.
Wait, what? Hold on. You're telling me my gym workouts could actually be preventing me from building muscle?
Yeah, well, it's because of something called the interference effect. Basically, when you're pushing your body really hard, it can take longer to recover, and that can actually make it harder to build muscle.
Wow. Okay. That is a serious bummer.
Yeah.
So what does this have to do with walking?
Well, the good news is that walking doesn't have this interference effect.
Okay.
So you can still burn calories and lose fat without sacrificing those gains.
Phew. That's a relief.
So even if you're, lifting weights or doing other exercises, adding a daily walk could actually boost your fitness progress.
That's amazing. So how much walking are we talking about here? Should I be aiming for like a certain number of steps each day?
Well, consistency is really key, but you don't have to go from like 0 to 10,000 steps overnight.
Right.
Gravity transformation suggests that you shoot for around 10,000 steps.
Okay.
But starting small and gradually increasing that can still make a big difference.
Okay. I like that. Small steps, big results. So we've established that walking can help with weight loss and it doesn't interfere with muscle growth.
Huh.
Are there any other benefits that I should know about?
Absolutely. Walking isn't just good for your physical health, it's also great for your mental well-being.
Okay.
One of the videos we watched, Healthline, highlighted how walking can actually boost your mood.
You know what? I can actually relate to that because I always feel so much better after a good walk, even if I'm stressed or, feeling down beforehand.
Right. Well, there's a reason for that. Walking releases endorphins, which make you feel good, and it also increases serotonin and norepinephrine, which help regulate mood, sleep, and stress levels.
It's crazy how something so simple can have such a big impact on how we feel.
It really is, and we've really only scratched the surface of what walking can do.
We talked about walking helping with mood, but thinking back to like the original request for this deep dive, you mentioned, struggling with weight loss plateaus.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's some stuff on that in the gravity transformation materials, right?
Yeah, you're right. They actually specifically talk about how walking can help break through those like really frustrating plateaus. So if you're
Yeah.
stuck at a certain weight, just upping your daily steps could be the key to like getting things moving again.
Okay, so instead of, drastically cutting calories or doing those crazy crash diets, which we know aren't sustainable,
Right.
I could just walk more each day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like a much more gradual and sustainable approach.
Yeah, that sounds way more manageable.
And they had some interesting insights about like the timing of our walks and the structure.
Like, tell me more about that. So, like, when I walk matters.
It might. Gravity transformations suggested that breaking up your walks throughout the day could be more beneficial than just doing one long walk.
So instead of, trying to force myself to do a whole hour all at once, I could do like 3 20-minute walks.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about finding what works for you and your schedule, you know?
I could definitely fit that in more easily.
Yeah. And I think, spreading out your steps throughout the day can also help with keeping your energy levels up and just making you feel more active overall.
Oh, I like that. So it's like sneaking in mini workouts without even realizing it.
Right.
Speaking of sneaking in activity, a lot of the sources also talk about how easy it is to incorporate walking into your everyday life, even if it's not dedicated workout time.
Yeah, it's all about those small changes,
Huh.
They add up over time, taking the stairs instead of the elevator parking farther away from your destination, even walking while you're on the phone. All those little things contribute to a more active lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's about changing your mindset from, exercise as a chore to movement as just a natural part of your day.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It just feels way less daunting than having to block off this huge chunk of time to work out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good reminder that fitness doesn't have to be like all or nothing. Every little bit counts.
Absolutely. And, walking is one of the most accessible forms of exercise out there.
Right.
You don't need any special equipment or a gym membership. You can literally do it anywhere, anytime.
It's true. It's like a gift.
It really is.
And, we've talked a lot about weight loss, but we can't forget about all those other amazing benefits that walking provides.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've talked about the mood boost, but walking can also really help with your sleep quality.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it can help regulate your sleep-wake cycle, make it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Okay. So we've got weight loss, we've got mood boost, better sleep. What else is there?
Well, it's also a fantastic stress reliever.
Okay, that's huge. I mean, so many of us are dealing with stress these days.
Mm,
It's nice to know that something so simple can help.
right. Were there any other benefits mentioned?
Let me think.
I know there were a few more.
Oh, yeah. Walking can actually boost your energy levels,
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
which seems kind of counterintuitive, but I guess like using energy helps you have more energy.
Right, and it can help improve your heart health.
Yeah.
Lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol levels, and reduce your risk of heart disease.
It's like a magic bullet for a healthier life.
Kind of is.
We should all be prescribing more walking.
I agree. It's just amazing how such a simple activity can have such a huge impact on like our whole well-being.
Totally.
But, it's not just about the physical benefits either.
What do you mean?
Well, walking can also help with like creativity and problem solving.
Really?
Yeah, there's something about like the rhythm and movement that seems to stimulate the brain, helps us think more clearly.
You know what? I can actually relate to that because sometimes when I'm like stuck on a problem, I'll go for a walk and it's weird. Like the solution will just come to me.
It's true. Walking gives us a break from our usual routines and environments, and it allows our minds to kind of wander and make new connections.
I'm starting to realize I've been seriously underestimating walking this whole time.
Yeah.
I used to think it was just about, getting from point A to point B or something I did when I couldn't do a real workout. But now I see it as like this incredible tool for transformation, like my whole mind and body.
Yeah. It's powerful, isn't it?
It really is. And it's something we hope you'll take with you even after this deep dive is over. Walking isn't just a means to an end. It's a journey.
I love that.
You know what? I'm like really
Yeah.
feeling inspired to just like get out there and walk more.
Yeah.
But what's really sticking with me is that idea of walking not just being about, fitness, but about well-being.
It really is a whole different way of looking at it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to, what we were talking about earlier about incorporating walking into our lives.
Right.
So, we talked about like aiming for a certain number of steps each day,
Mm-hmm.
but what if we took that even further?
Okay. I like where you're going with this. What are you thinking?
What if we like thought about movement as part of everything we do?
Okay, so instead of focusing on steps, it's more about making movement just a natural part of our day.
Exactly. So like, could I walk during phone calls?
Yeah.
Could I stand at my desk for part of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do like a quick stretch break every hour?
I love all of those ideas. It's all about finding those little opportunities to move throughout the day,
Yeah.
even if it's just for a couple minutes at a time.
And I bet those little moments really add up,
Oh, for sure.
not just for our bodies, but for our minds too.
Yeah.
Stress reduction,
Yeah.
mental clarity,
Yeah.
all that.
Right. It's about creating a lifestyle that prioritizes movement and well-being
Hmm.
and not thinking of exercise as something we have to like force ourselves to do.
I really love that. This whole deep dive has completely changed how I think about walking.
Really?
I used to think of it as, just a way to get around or something I did when I couldn't do a real workout.
Uh-huh.
But now I see it as this incredible tool for like transforming myself.
It's the simple things,
Yes,
right?
it really is.
Walking is something that almost everyone can do no matter what your fitness level is.
Yeah,
And it can make such a big difference.
it's true. I'm so glad we took the time to like really dig into this.
Me too.
So as we wrap up here, what's one small change our listener could make today to walk more?
Oh, that's a great question to end on. I think, maybe could they take the stairs instead of the elevator? Park a
Yeah.
little farther away from the store?
Yeah.
Or even just like a quick walk around the block at lunch. Every step counts.
And remember, it doesn't have to be a huge change all at once.
Right.
Start small, find what you enjoy, make it a habit.
I love it.
You'll be amazed at the difference it makes. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, happy walking